Going on an adventure today. We've never been on this highway. It's Highway 245 from Unity to Baker City. And it's right next to in fact, you drive down part of it to get to the state park. There's the boat ramp. Now we're going to be driving over the dam. Oh, no, we don't. I guess we don't drive over the dam.
Next to it.
We drive next to the dam. So one of the things we found on the to-do list of things to do in the area was what they called the Loop Road. And this is taking 245 out of the state park, follow it all the way up to Highway 7, turns towards Sumpter on Highway 7, back to Highway 26, and then Highway 26 back to Unity State Park. We decided we've never been on 245 in this area, so we decided we were going to do it. And one thing I noticed looking at the map, it's a very, very windy road. Did some research after we got home, and I found it located on several motorcycle riding sites. It's known to have, if I recall correctly, over 180 turns in 14 miles of driving. And it is windy. It's called Dooley Mountain Road. The summit to Dooley Mountain is 5,420 feet high. Dooley Mountain Road has kind of an interesting history to it. It was actually started as a private toll road. It was owned by John J. Dooley, an Eastern Oregon pioneer who arrived in Oregon in 1862, and the mountain was subsequently named after him. In 1889, it was acquired by Baker County and became a public road. In 1917, it was made part of the Baker Unity Highway, which was designated Oregon Highway 7. In 1981, the Baker Unity Highway was divided between the Whitney Highway and the Dooley Mountain Highway. The Dooley Mountain Highway was redesignated as 245 at that time. It was quite an interesting drive. Very, very, very windy. Very beautiful. Loved the scenery. It was one of the areas that you drive through in Oregon that has been touched in years past by wildfire. There's areas you could see had been much more heavily forested, and all that's left right now is some bare tree trunks after the fires. It's slowly growing back, and hopefully it'll eventually get back to that treed and forested state, but we'll have to see. Really, really enjoyable drive, and sit back and enjoy. on our trip around the loop, we decided to detour, and when we hit Highway 7, we took a right instead of a left, and we went up to Baker City. Sonia was still doing some of the Pacific Northwest quilt shop hop, and Baker City was one of the quilts in that shop hop, so we went up there to check out the quilt store. And quite frankly, Unity is a very, very small community, and they really don't have groceries. So while we were close to a decent-sized city, we ran into the grocery store, picked up some groceries, stopped at the quilt store, and then got back on the loop road. Baker City has a lot of history in and of itself, and it's kind of a neat little town to drive around. They've got a historic hotel downtown you can stay at. It's one of the things I've wanted to do in the past, just never have. But just a really neat little town. It's amazing how many old buildings and old houses are still standing in town, and just I really like the architecture. I don't know why I'm so fascinated by different building styles, and one of the things I've enjoyed is to watch houses and other buildings under construction and see how things are done. Just really intrigues me, and seeing a high rise, if you will, in downtown Baker City, and this is an older building. Just a lot of fun, and really neat to see the history there. But after our short visit with the quilt store, we jumped back on Highway 7 and headed off towards Sumpter. So what I'm trying to show here is you can see on the map there's these like blue line showing water, and you look off to the side of the road and you can see dirt mounds. That satellite image I showed is actually the trailings left behind by the Sumpter Valley dredge. And we didn't stop this time through at Sumpter Valley, but the town of Sumpter, a neat little town. We've stopped there in the past, really enjoyed it. There's a lot of history, gold history specific. You can go up here into Sumpter, and the Sumpter Valley dredge is what left all those tailings, and it has these huge scoops on it that would scoop ground up. You can see them here in the picture, and they would take them inside the actual dredge and onto the processing parts of the machinery, and they would process gold, and they would leave those tailings as they moved from spot to spot. Other things in the Sumpter area, the Sumpter Valley Railroad. It's an old steam locomotive that still runs along the railroad. When we were there, we actually got to see it. And if you go up the highway a little bit further, you've got the ghost town of Granite. Ghost town's kind of an interesting phrase for it. It was also big in the gold boom, but during World War II, it was deemed unnecessary by the government and it was shut down. The city of Granite kind of collapsed, and I believe in 1960 there was only one person living there. Recently, over the years, some retirees have moved up there, and the latest census I saw was showing Granite to have a population of 40. So it's got some neat little ghost town aspects to it, but people are still living up there. And I really enjoy that whole area. There's a lot to do up there, hiking, biking. There's places to go fishing. I know for hunters, that's a popular area to go while hunting as well. But Sumpter itself, Sumpter and Granite both, just a lot of fun to go see. I love seeing the history. I love learning about it, walking around the gold dredge that we did when we were there. It was just fascinating to me to see the technology they had back in the day when they were running it, and how ingenious the engineers were and the craftsmen that actually built these machineries that work so well. Even with the steam locomotive, it's just really neat to see that technology and see how it all worked, and just a lot of fun to see. So if you're in the area, I would suggest stopping in the Sumpter Granite area. Again, we didn't this time just because we'd been there before, but it's a really, really neat place to be. Really fascinating. Well, this is bringing this video to an end. know this is a little bit different than what we've done in the past. I hope you enjoyed it. I just thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to watch our videos, and this will end our little trip to Unity Lake. It was a lot of fun. It was really neat seeing a new place, fishing a new lake, and seeing new sights. We'll have to try to do more of that this year as the new trailer comes together. As always, thanks for watching.